Welcome to HM Car Reviews. Today I'm going to talk about what happens when you buy a car, or at least what to look for when you do buy a car. So anybody who's in the process of buying a car, maybe if you're selling a car as well, how to maximize the amount of money that you want to receive. That's the kind of person that's going to be wanting to watch this video. So we'll jump right in it and we'll start to talk. First of all, make sure the car is clean, both for selling it and for buying it. Generally speaking, if the car is clean, both the exterior and the interior, if that's all clean, then it's very much a good indicator that the internals, the engine components and whatnot, those are going to be in a good shape. So if it's all clean, it is pretty likely that it is going to be all okay in there. But do your due diligence. Don't just assume it's going to be. Go then have a look at the service history, and if it is full, super, that's what you're after. And if it's not full, well, it's not necessarily going to mean that the car's going to be faulty. Not at all. That's not always the case. You don't need to service a car every single year, particularly a car that's been on the road for a few years. Generally, it's a higher mileage car. As long as it's had its oil changes done, that's going to be okay. Now, other things to look for, you may want to jack it up and have a look underneath and for rust and that sort of stuff, but that's not always going to be possible. But what you can do is take a stick or maybe even a screwdriver, not too big. You want to be able to put your hand underneath the car, but with that, if you start to jab it up at the bottom end of the bodywork, you would feel it stop, and that's where the bodywork is. But if it goes through you and you hear that little crunching noise, that's going to be rust, and that rust could be something that it's going to be costly to repair in the future. So that's always something to bear in mind. The quality of the alloy wheels, yes, you do want to consider them, because if the alloy wheels are corroded, that means your tires are going to be deflating quicker than what they should do. So that's going to be an ongoing problem, particularly if you're buying that car. You don't want that. You don't want that to be the case. So as long as you get your full service history, your bodywork checks out okay, like it's not too rusty or it's not too dented or that kind of stuff. The second one to do, well, the one after that rather, if you can do it, and it's not always possible on every single car that you might buy, is to take it out on a test drive. Now during that time, you want to make sure that the engine is already warm, is up to temperature, because you want to take yourself all the way up the rev range. So you might only ever go to third gear, but you use all the rev range in first gear, all the rev range in second gear, and then maybe all the rev range in third gear, and then try and put it in the highest gear it could do, 40 miles an hour, floor it, and see how long it'll take you to get to 60. It's generally an indicator sort of the performance of the vehicle and what it's able to do. Older vehicles do lose horsepower over time. That's something to always consider. However, when you do a fresh oil change, a lot of that lost horsepower does get recovered back. So it's not the end of the world, it's just components getting old. Now, if the car is modified, you want to make sure you've got receipts for every single thing that has been done, and that's pretty important for your insurance, because modifications and certain modifications, especially over a certain value, you have to declare them on your insurance, and you want to have every documentation possible for every single work that's been done, so you can have a fair and true value, accurate value of when, if God forbid your car is involved in an accident, you can get the truest, fairest value back for your vehicle. Now, those are some ideas that I have when it comes to looking for a new vehicle. Always do the HPI check, so you make sure there's no outstanding credit on it, because if you're buying a car that's already been bought in finance and the person who's financed it hasn't paid it all off, well, guess what? Now you're the owner of the vehicle, you're paying it off. That's how it works, unfortunately. So you want to make sure it's all clear, it's never been stolen, it's never had a paint change, all this kinds of stuff. I would also potentially stay clear of import cars for a couple of reasons. one, the insurance on them is going to be higher than a domestic car. Two, they are harder to get parts for, which is mainly why the insurance is higher. And three, they're harder to tax because they never did the correct emission standards here, so you may be paying over the odds in car tax for it, so it might not be worth it for you. And then once you've agreed on the price, you may want to haggle it down or haggle it up, depending on whether or not you're the buyer or the seller. You got to think about, well, you're going to have to send your documentation over to the DVLA, so you get it signed, the person buying or selling has to get it signed. It goes over to the DVLA and then it comes back. And you're also going to want to have to tax it, insure it, and all that kind of stuff. You'll want to do that before you even drive it. It's the way it is. If you don't tax or insure it, it'll be illegal to drive and you're getting points on your license. So make sure that's already done before you buy it, really. Or, just at the same time that you're buying it. Now, you may, depending on where you're buying it from, you may want to purchase gap insurance, but I'm not really going to go into that. It's not for the purpose of this video. We don't need to talk about gap insurance. Anyway, those are some of the ideas that I've came up with. If you have your own ideas, please do comment them in the comment section down below. It helps absolutely everybody that's watching this video. So people buying, people selling, and even myself. And on top of that, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And it means a great deal to me. And until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.